All right, Cyber Traders, good afternoon and welcome on back here this Thursday, January 18th, shortly after 2:30. Great to see all of our students and members alike still with us here. Perhaps Bill and Gary, Pablo just a moment ago, and perhaps all of us just rejoining us right now live inside our trading room. So great to see Andrea and Michael. I know Bill's been following my call outs there. Perfect, Bill, and all of our students just rejoining us right now. I mean, hey, if you're joining us there or on social media, we're in a hell of a market right here, folks. We are in a large uptrend here looking at the SPY 5-minute chart. That's actually on the 5-minute chart here where my cursor is. So breaking new highs. It's what we were kind of looking for just from that 472 support level. Actually, if you were with me in Traders Talk just on Tuesday this week, I had a question from a student, and actually there's the exact line, I think, just to show it. But really back from 2021, when this was around these same prices now, roughly around, you see it right there, roughly around 472, estimated and change, you're going to find a pretty damn strong chart level. So heading into at least today, and from earlier this week too, we were looking to see this act as support. And well, back on Tuesday this week, it ended up leading to a pullback. Held it perfect once again, but then we had a gap lower overnight into yesterday, and look at where we are now. So we got back up heading into this morning, and from there, basically just heading into the early to mid-afternoon, the SPY held perfectly, and now we're breaking out higher. So hey, if you were inside our trading room, I want you to tell me what stock or stocks I'm calling out, at least here heading into this afternoon. I know Bill was on top of it just a moment ago. Actually, we were just showing one of them on the screen to begin perhaps there, but what was I just jumpy towards heading into this afternoon meeting for Grant or Michael or Andrea out here in our room? What was I calling out just a moment ago? Sam. Yeah, everyone should have been saying the SOXL. Come on now, I just got to read the chat. And with that, hey, heading into the afternoon, I was looking for support around 30, but I was a little skittish to take the entry off of 30. So I was really hawking it, and I just wasn't a fan of it. It looked like there was actually a ladder on the sell side, and it looked like it was going to squeeze lower. So, hey, I wish I could have jumped in from 30. I didn't. It popped back up, and then once I started to see it move back up pretty nicely, well, the other ticker I was watching was AMD. That's an actual stock, not an ETF here. But at least heading into the morning, when I'm looking at this SOXL, we had a really good chart level heading into the open right off of $30 and roughly 34 cents. That's the exact price I wrote in the chat, 30.34. My line's at 32. Basically, that's where I was looking for just a moment ago. And hey, hopefully Bill, you jumped in. That was a beautiful test of support. And as expected, look at where we're at now. I just wrote this also in the chat board just before for us in our trading room. I'll show it for all of us here on social. But, throughout the day, you just got to keep your eyes on the chat, follow not just the stocks that we are calling out, the tickers, might I say, but also the levels. 2:24 Eastern this afternoon, right before we started this meeting, 31.10, strong resistance from this morning. Bingo, bango, topped off right there just now. And, hey, heading into the afternoon, easily enough, I don't like cursing, actually. I just said that before in our chat. My apologies. I don't like cursing, folks. I dropped the E word on us right there. I'm joking. Easy, of course. And we never really like to say a trade is easy, but when we're expecting resistance to initially act as support, and it's exactly what happens, well, it makes it a lot easier for us to react to and take and look for that reactant big move shortly after. AMD, I was a little, this was a great pop from the morning session, but then as it turned back down heading into like 10 o'clock time even, you had to feel that it was going to begin to retest and break. But over time, I wasn't really expecting for this to drop as low as it ended up doing throughout the day. So as it was making lower highs, I was not shorting this. I don't like shorting AMD as much. To each their own. But otherwise, I'm looking for a bounce. And it was right at 159 and change. I was looking for it initially. So I was trading option calls on AMD earlier today. Did pretty well from 160 initially, or from 165, my apologies, initially. Well, here at 159, it's not even a level on my chart here, just kind of in between. I was looking for support back from yesterday. I ended up taking one loss on this AMD trade just heading into this afternoon. I was looking for that bounce, didn't get it, and I took a small loss afterwards as it dropped lower. However, It ended up bouncing back up above that price I had mentioned. I jumped right back in on the same trade, the 160 calls, and I'm in right now from 145 on that trade on the option call. And for now, I don't mind putting AMD back on our watch list at least here. The stock was actually breaking all-time highs just earlier this morning. So it's not just the fact that old Josh is in this trade right now. It's just simply this stock was extremely tradable from the morning, very volatile, might I say. But the more interesting fact about this stock is that it was breaking all-time highs just earlier today. So a lot of eyes are on this stock. It's very volatile, and we mean that actually in a more complimentary light. At least it has a really good spread for as expensive as it is. So yeah, I'm gonna at least put this on our watch list here too for any of my students following myself exclusively on that trade. Um, I'll tell you what, there were a couple of other stocks that we were looking at just before, but what we'll just do is go right from top to bottom here, kind of build up our list from this point. We got the chip stocks on there, the chip sector, you could pretty much call it. Now, here's the thing, right? We were trading all throughout this week these small cap stocks that just went nowhere, and maybe one or two did, but they were really choppy across the entire day, right? Not just one stock, a list of them. One of them, I know, I think one of our students was calling out BFRG. That's a waste right now, I think. And this stock looks very similar to that. That's kind of what I'm alluding to here. NVNI, this is like a chop fest. And a pass on that. Another chop fest, MRAI, same deal. At least this had some legs from earlier in the morning, but going nowhere now. There's our BFRG, up 22%, might you say? Yes, but look at the move that it made just yesterday. It was very choppy all throughout the morning and pre-market. It had one respectable bounce or pop, and then it was a chop fest again. Do not get stuck watching this thing just chop around and for you to rip your hair out. The same to be said on AGFY. And this actually we knew right from the morning session as well. It's a loser now, so unless if you can short it. But it's just like here in pre-market, you tell me, I mean, at least prior to the pop at 9 a.m., this is just a disaster. So, we had this on our list because it was up a lot and there was some news that came out. But after the initial breakout that this stock had, well, it's like we were warning you back from the BFRG trade. The stock will look to retain its original personality over time, meaning, it had one pop there, pretty good. And maybe it can get halted and, perhaps that could change the dynamic, maybe. But otherwise, as soon as the market opened up, it popped, it chopped, it dropped. Yes, that rhymed. And with that, here we are back down. So let's see what else we can grab here, though. And data, probably another loser like that. This might be a buyout. Looking at how flat this thing is. Jeez. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. NVCR flat right now. Listen, the SPY's at the high of the day. I just got to do my due diligence here, do my job, go from top to bottom. Oh, and might I say, we have a bunch of new trial members joining us here, just coming off of Wealth 365. I know Fausto is on there earlier today. So for any of our new trial members joining us here, welcome aboard. I see Vinny joining us. I know Asim's been with us throughout this week, though. David, Ray, got a bunch more joining us tomorrow as well. Welcome aboard. This could be a bit quick and a little bit fast at first. We strongly recommend for you to call our office and get in touch with your education advisor. They're the middleman or middlewoman between you and Fausto and you and myself. They could basically answer any questions that come along with this trial membership. So big post inside our live trading room that is right now, just for any of our new members joining us. BTU, getting back to this here, up 9%. It's at the highs, but it's more so the recent run this afternoon. I really like this trend. So I'll add BTU. This is Peabody Energy, I think this company is. Yeah, we've traded this one in the past. All right, we got three now at least. We got the chip stocks and the ETF there, the SOXL as we just said, and then BTU. Maybe there could be one or two more. Hertz trade, this was unfortunate. I wanted to see a lot more out of this stock. This is a trade where, it starts off good, was working out pretty nice. You move your stop up to break even. And then, well, unfortunately, I came back actually from my kitchen. I had my stop set, and then it took me out. It dropped down. I'm like, come on. I know what's going to happen next, but so you keep your stop where it is, right at your entry price, break even. And at least I didn't lose any on this trade. But, this Hertz stock, it was a bit of a gap fill back from a couple days ago. And with that, I just wanted more. Just didn't get it. What's that lyric go? You can't always get what you want. Ooh, AMC inching back up again. Obviously all of the meme stock frenzy over the last few years with social media and all of these platforms now discussing these trades, goes back to the GameStop and AMC short squeeze back from 2021. So, AMC looking good. GameStop obviously not. All right, I don't mind slipping AMC on our watch list here. Extremely tradable. It's up over 5%, albeit kind of slipping down off the recent highs now, but got fast here. I feel like this is like on the percent gainers and losers list often here, this trade. It's pretty expensive. All right, so hey, if there is anything else looking good, anything else moving, namely with the stock market right now, the S&P, Dow, whatnot, just type it in here in the chat board and let me know. And then otherwise, let's just hop over to the loser side here. Got a bunch of stocks hard to borrow, so you really can't short them. At least if they're down a lot percentage-wise, there could be room for like a dead cat bounce, but we're not going to trade a 6-penny stock, and this RNAS is not that. It's not making that pop. So kind of just gloss over them, skip over them briefly, and we keep on moving now. Hey, the Bitcoin stock's taking a huge hit today. Not really a big surprise. I was very cautious and not interested really in Mara throughout this week. I missed out on a couple tiny bounces there, right? A couple 50-cent moves. Even this morning, just had a nice little breakout here today over that yellow line, and then from there 1750. But at that point after, same fate happened here with crypto and Coinbase and obviously Hut actually being a miner too. This is down the most out of all of them. All right. Anything else looking good here on this losers list here? Again, hey, with the market up, not going to find much going down, right? Just got to do my job. All right, DraftKings had a good day today. There wasn't really much news on that early, and I guess they did pull back a little bit afterwards there too. So, I'll keep DraftKings on my side list at least. Check in with it tomorrow. Check out like the airlines, the cruise lines. I mean, hey, look at American. Look at United. Don't really be looking to save too much. Don't be looking to save too much. How about that? Actually, here's a little funny story. I want to break out a little funny story here. How about this? I don't know how many people are familiar with the company Barstool Sports and the gentleman known as David Portnoy, but I'm a fan of them, and I've been around that site for a little while, and I found this pop up this morning. This was hilarious. So financial Twitter started going pretty crazy once they found out. And basically what happened was the CEO of that company, Barstool, Dave Portnoy, he ended up announcing that he was buying Spirit Airlines. Whatever. I mean, everyone could make a good trade or a bad trade every now and then, right? But the exact minute, I'm going to pull this up right now here if I can, so everyone can see on recording. The exact minute in which he ended up announcing that he had bought Save is when the company ended up announcing the restructuring per the Wall Street Journal. He announced at 11:55 he had bought Save. The exact minute they announced their restructuring, making his investment fall 25%, quite literally. That is poor timing. Oh my goodness. All right, well, with the airlines moving up, you might think, oh, maybe Save could be a good dead cat bounce. I'm going to hold off on it. I think that we should be following the stock market, namely, and the stocks that are moving in accordance to it. So, of course, this is bouncing right now, but what looks stronger to you, Save or, American Airlines? Up 5% at least at the highs. Look at cruise lines really aren't doing too much, though. So, RCL, NCLH, CCL, this ain't looking too good either. All right, so you know what? I like American. How about Boeing? A little expensive, but up 4.5%. So, you got to respect that too. I'm going to just put American on our watch list. I feel like that's just one that's right within our price range, very tradable. Yeah, Bill, talk about poor timing there, right? I feel like that's me at times when I make a call out in our room, like, oh, hey, looking for a pop, and then drop. No, obviously teasing myself with that. But, hey, if there's anything else looking good, folks, just type it in here in the chat board. Chuck looking at Carvana. I'm going to pass on it, Chuck. It's only up 1%. I'm rooting you on. You know that. But I'm going to pass on it here. Hard pass, in fact. Probably say that on a lot of trades, though. I mean, hey, unless if it's really at the highs or at the lows as a short, I'm probably going to pass, right? I mean, I got a good list now at this point. You don't want to build it up too big. If anyone's in any trades already, I'm rooting you on, but I'd rather everyone else focus on this here list. So, I like what we got. I don't really see anything else from Benzinga here otherwise. I'll show you my scanner from Benzinga Pro. Oh, this just popped up here. 5% pop here a little while ago. It's only trading 604,000 shares. LPCN. The chart might look like garbage. Let's see. Yep. There we go. All right. So I think that is my calling card, right? So when we're getting stocks that look like this, I think that we are pretty much set. Folks, I like what we got. We got the SOXL, we got AMD, we got BTU, we got AMC, and then finally, we got the American Airlines trade. So, hey, I like what we got, folks, and you know what we're already in at this point. AMD calls, SOXL from the 3034. So, hey, heading into the close, start and stick with this list. I'll be back on myself at 3 o'clock shortly afterwards, and we'll see what we can grab at that point heading into the market close, folks. All right, hey, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., we look forward to seeing you inside our live trading room. Just scan that QR code on the top left right there of the stream just to get yourself access to a week-long trial. We have a literal ton of new trial members joining us from Fausto's presentation on Wealth 365. And hey, for anyone that registered to that event as a student, just check your emails. You should be getting the recordings of each and every one of those, events that they are holding across this week. And there's also tomorrow. They have a whole slate of events tomorrow. So it's not even just Fausto that you had the chance to watch, at least earlier today, but a bunch of different educators throughout the industry. Actually, a lot of people I like out there too. Melissa Arno, John Seville, obviously Tom Sosnoff, the man right there. So there's a bunch that we're presenting. But hey, for any of our new members joining us from that event here today, welcome aboard. Make sure that you call our office to get in touch with your education advisor. They'll be reaching out to you. I mean, we initiate, but please, if you have not gotten in touch with them just yet, and if you did not receive a phone call this afternoon, please reach out to our office as soon as possible. Make sure that you get in touch with your education advisor. Again, they are the middleman or middlewoman between you and Fausto, you and myself, where they have a lot more time to break down how this trading room works. They have the time to at least address where the recordings are on our website. Again, there are workshops and recordings that come with this. We do a live workshop every Tuesday morning. So we hope that you look forward to that. But again, make sure that you call our office, get in touch with your education advisor. They'll be able to address any questions and make this a lot easier. All right, folks. So, hey, otherwise, do not look to trade any of our callouts just yet as a trial member. Just look to kind of observe, put yourself in the passenger seat here across this week, and just look to follow us here in our main chat. All right. So for Bill, Michael, Grant, etc., I look forward to seeing you all coming up here at 3 o'clock. Take care.